Hello, welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about what happened on UEFA Champions League playoffs 2025-2026 season second leg. This week we're playing the second leg in the playoffs to 2025-2026. So for that reason, now we know the teams, the last 8 teams that qualified to the round of 16, and now there are the 16 teams that qualify to the round of 16. So for that reason, I'm recording this video where I'm going to talk about the game. So yesterday we played the first four game. Where in the first game, the Atleti didn't have any problem and defeated the Club Brugge for one. Remember that in the first leg, the game had tied 3-3 in Belgium, where the Atleti had been the best team, but they couldn't won that game. About this game, the Atleti was the best team, I'm not gonna to lie. They have the game under control and they won this game easily. The MVP of the game was Alexander Sorloth, the Atletico Madrid forward player, because he scored a hat-trick, and in the end, the Athletic won the game easily for one, and they won the series 7-4, and they advanced to the round of 16. In yesterday's second game, another game, the most poor game of the second leg, the Leverkusen and Olympiacos tied the game 0-0. Remember that the Leverkusen had won the first game 2-0 in Greece, and now the Olympiacos needed to win this game for minimum 2 goals to force overtime. So about this game, the game was close, but in the end, the Leverkusen always had the game under control because they were leading this series by two goal difference. In the end, the game was tight, but in the end, how I told you, the Leverkusen had the game and the series under control. The game finishing 0-0, and with this result, the Leverkusen won the series 2-0, and they advanced to the round of 16. And the third game yesterday third game in the surprise of the round, the Bodo Glimt traveled to Italy and defeated the Inter Milan 2-1. Remember, in the first leg, the Bodo Glimt had made the surprise, and they defeated the Inter 3-1. So in this game, it was a must victory for the Inter to win the game minimum by 2 goal difference to force the overtime, or win by more than 3 goal difference to advance to the series. About this game, the Bodo Glimt dominated this game. I'm not gonna to lie. The Inter Milan needed to score the goals, and for the reason they attacked a lot. They put a lot of center in the inter areas, but they couldn't score any goal. And in the second half is when the Bodo Glimt took advantage that the Inter Milan decided to attack all the game. How I told you, they created a lot of goal opportunities, but the problem is that they put a lot of centers in the Bodo Glimt areas, but the Inter forwards couldn't score any goal in the first half, where in the second half the Bodo Glimt took advantage that the Inter let a lot of spaces. They scored 2 goals in counter attack, and the Bodo Glimt won the game 2-1. With this victory, the Bodo Glimt won the series 5-2, and they advanced to the round of 16. This is a surprise until this moment of the season, and the Inter Milan, the runner-up of this competition, was eliminated. What a surprise! And yesterday's last game, that the series was defined in the first leg. The Newcastle defeated the Qarabag 3-2. About this game, remember in the first leg, the Newcastle had won the game 6-1, and they were practically qualified to the round of 16. So it was a very funny game because Newcastle had the game under control. For that reason, they put a lot of bench players in the game. It was an exciting game, and in the end, the Newcastle won the game 3-2, and they won the series 9-3, and they advanced to the round of 16. And today's last 4 games, in the first game, another surprise, the Atalanta defeated the Borussia Dortmund 4-1. Remember, in the first leg, the Dortmund took advantage to playing home, and they won the first game 2-0. So also about this game, in the second game in Italy, the Atalanta needed to win this game minimum by 2 goal difference to force overtime. And about this game, the Atalanta was the best team. They took advantage to playing home, and they won this game. For one, it was a very exciting game because Atalanta were leading the game 2-0 in the half time. In the beginning of the second half, they scored a third goal. They took advantage of the series, and they were leading. After that, the Dortmund reacted. They improved its football level. They scored a goal in the minus 75, a golazo by Karim Adeyemani. And in that moment, the Atalanta were leading the game 3-1, and they had forced overtime. So it looked like that the game was gonna to be sent to overtime. But what happened? In the last minutes of the game, the Dortmund goalkeeper Gregor Kobel made a very mistake. He missed the football, and he sent the ball to a Atalanta player. So for that reason, the Dortmund defender, Rami Bensebaini, had to make a penalty, a foul, to avoid the Atalanta goal. For that reason, Atalanta scored the penalty in the minute 80. Lazar Semardik scored the Atalanta 4 goal, and thanks to this goal, Atalanta won the game 4-1, and they won the series 4-3, and they advanced to the round of 16. What a surprise! In another game, the PSG, the reigning champion team, tied against the Monaco 2-2. Remember, in the first game, the PSG had won the game 3-2. So for that reason, the Monaco needed to win this game minimum by 1 goal difference to force the overtime. So it was a very complicated game for the PSG. They didn't have an easy series, to be honest, because in the first half they were trailing by 1-0, and the game in that moment in the half time was going to be sent to overtime. But what happened? Another red card that the Monaco received, because in the minus 58, Mamadou Koulibaly made a mistake. He received a red card, and for that reason, for more than the 30 minutes, the Monaco played with one less player. PSG took advantage of that, and in a lapse of 6 minutes, they scored 2 goals. They overcome the score, and they were leading the game 2-1, and they were leading the series 5-3 in the minus 66. So they had the game under control. They were control the game. They were leading the game, and it looked like they were gonna to win the series. But in the stopping time, Jordan Tese scored the Monaco second goal, and they put emotion because the game was tied 2-2, and the Monaco only needed 1 goal to force overtime. And in the last play of the game, the Monaco had a set piece play, and they had the opportunity to tie this game, where the Monaco centered the ball and the football, and Monaco's player, the defender, I think this was Denis Zakari, or I don't know, I don't remember the name of the player, had the opportunity to score the goal. He missed the opportunity, he missed the football, and he couldn't score the goal. And in the end, the game finished 2-2. With this score, the PSG, the reigning champion team, won the series 5-4, and they advanced to the round of 16. And in the third game, and today's third game, and the best game of the day, the Juventus defeated the Galatasaray 3-2 in the overtime. This was a very exciting and funny game, because remember that in the first leg, Galatasaray had made the surprise, and they defeated the Juventus 5-2. So the Juventus needed minimum the 3 goals to force overtime, or win by 4 or more goals to win the series. So it was a very funny game, where the Juventus won in the regular time 3-0, and they forced overtime. So they have everything in favor, because they were playing home. They had forced the overtime, and it looked like that they were going to win this game in overtime or penalty shootout, where in the first minutes of the of the overtime. The Juventus had the opportunity to score a goal. They missed it, and in almost in the end of the first overtime, Galatasaray scored the first goal of the game by Victor Osimhen, and Galatasaray were leading the series in that moment 6-5. After that, Juventus decided to attack because they needed a goal to force overtime. They couldn't score any goal. The Galatasaray took advantage. Juventus left a lot of spaces. They scored the second goal, and in the end, Juventus won the game 3-2, but the Galatasaray won the series 7-5, and Galatasaray upset the Juventus because Galatasaray eliminated Juventus, won a surprise, and Galatasaray qualified to the Round 16. And today's fourth and last game, the Real Madrid, the owner of this competition, defeated the Benfica 2-1. Remember that in the first leg, Real Madrid defeated the Benfica 1-0. There were some polemic for because according to Vinicius, he received some racist insults by a Benfica player. So there was a lot of noise during the week, but in the end, in this game, the Real Madrid dominated this game. I'm not gonna lie, even that they didn't play the best game, but in the end, they won this game easily. Even the Benfica started to win the game in the minus 14. After that, Real Madrid scored the first goal of the equalizer 2 minutes after that, and they had the game under control. They scored another goal in the minus 80 by Vinicius Junior, a golazo, and in the end, Real Madrid won the game 2-1. They won the series 3-1, and they advanced to the round of 16. So now, the PSG, the Galatasaray, the Real Madrid, Atalanta, Newcastle, Atleti, Bodo, Glimt, and Leverkusen advanced to the round of 16, and they will now there is defined the 16 teams that qualify to the round of 16. So now to define the series, remember that this Friday it will be a draw where now we'll know the series in the round of 16. So that will be interesting. So the round of 16 is going to be played the next month in March and in March 9 and 16. Yeah, in the next month, and now we'll know the round of 16 series. So remember that after the draw or before the round of 16 will start, I'm gonna to record a video where I'm gonna to talk about the series in this round, and I'm gonna to give my prediction. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any comment or suggestion, you can write me in the social media platform. So see you next video. June.